Panlos, Lunatic Hospital, Part 10, Bag 2, continued. So hello and welcome to Square Ghost, and here we are with the beginning of Part 10, the continuation of Bag 2. Yeah, this is the fourth part of Bag 2 actually, with one more to follow. And as you can see, we've started to build up our first wall, and it's nothing really special. We've got them curvy curve bricks, we've got the masonry bricks, we've got big 2x8s. You can just see underneath there what bricks are what. Not going to spend a lot of time here, and it's going to go on that corner there, I believe. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on with the build. So I'm back, and as you can see, we've made up another interesting part of this wall. If I get in close, you can see the masonry bricks, you can see the curved 1x2s as I call them, you know, with the thingy, and it just goes all the way down. And you can see the end here will go into this piece here, and we are then ready, I believe, to build on top. So there you go, you can see it connected. We've got another long little end on there that something's going to be built onto soon enough. But if you look here, we've got a lovely row, we've got some rails across, and then just normal 1x some tiles. They're quite big, 1x12s I think they are, with a 1x8 at the back end. So you've got that, and they are looking good. But I just wanted to give you an update before we start to build up, and I'm just giving you a quick update to what we have done. From the build up, we've gone all the way across now, as you can see. We've tiled all across to the end. You've got a big brick on at the end, sorry for fast cam. And then we have our first piece of fence on with this warning sign, this exclamation mark. I suppose it's no trespassing, something like that. I'm assuming that we're going to go across and across and then fit some gates, then it will be installed to the set. But there we are, that is the state of play. So just a quick update, I'm hoping you can see the little hooks are connected to the fence, and it runs all along. As you can see, you have to put them all on one at a time, nice and patiently, and that is the view you get. We're going to do 2 more here I think, and then we start to build up our next figure. So I think you've got a good enough view there. You can see the fence is in, it is complete, all the pieces are on. Took my time, as you know I struggle sometimes with small fiddly things, but we got there in the end, nice and steady, don't look too bad, as uniformed as I can get them. And now we are making up our next statue figure, so we're not that far away from the end. So as you can see, we are coming to the end of this section. First of all, it's a printed tile, I haven't dirtied it, that is how it has come. The one for the opposite gate that we'll make after is marked just the same, so it's a little bit of shame, although with the, I think the oldness of the asylum, the hospital, maybe it just adds to the effect. I don't know, it could be cleaner, but it is what it is. Like I say, it's a printed tile, it's nothing that I've done. Interesting how we've had to make up the little gate. You can see the little claws there, basically claw to the normal bottom gate. The other on top of the gate, as you can see, there's a curve in the top and it just clips on. You have to get them dead in line, otherwise some pop off, some pop off. But once I got it level, it clicked on quite easily, to be honest. So this is now going in there, and then it will be mounted, and then finally for the end of this section I'll do a quick show of what it looks like, and that will be that. So there you have it, it's on, the gate is on, and I just thought what I wanted to do is to have a look at what it looked like before we actually fit it. I'm going to turn it around in a minute so you can see the inside, not that it matters, but I just want you to have that look. There it is from the top, so let me spin it round and then that will be that. So there you have it from the inside. We have the gate, that's where your figure's built up. You can see your fencing, you can see your balls, everything is as it is. And with that, I'm going to get it to the set, and then you'll have a quick sum up, and that's the end of this part. Well, the end of this section. And as you can see, it is on. I'll turn it round in a minute, but I want to point some things out, because if I sound I'm out of breath, I am out of breath. I want to show you why. Then maybe if you do this set, I'm assuming every set's going to be very similar. I told you about the clutch power being very, very tight. You really had to push your bricks on. What I found was, when we'd made it up, as you know, when I went to put it actually on, it's seated here okay. All the struts here it was resting on top of, and I'll just turn the set now. I'm back. Here on that corner, that wouldn't seat at all, absolutely nothing. You could push this 2x4 in. When we came to these two bricks here, they wouldn't seat at all. There was a strut. You could actually visibly see the strut sticking just out the side. You could see why it wouldn't push in. You could seat the figure, but of course everything was out of line. You couldn't leave it like that for a particular reason. Obviously, if you're going to move the set, your wall's going to fall off. That's no good. So I needed to come up with a plan, and a plan I did. Basically, what I did was I took off the entire bottom row of bricks. That's all the way around from that end all the way around the corner. I then seated the bricks with the King hammer, and then put back on top. It's not as easy as it sounds. You can see there's still little gaps there. I still need to push that down. Take your life in your hands. But there's still a little bit of a gap there. You can see the little bit of a gap, but it's not as bad as it was. Believe me, they weren't lying down there at all. At least that's connected. But once I'd done that, like I say, I King hammered the balls, if I'm honest, because you can't touch your fence because your little claws would fall off and bend. And it's seated, and it's down, and it's in. What I will show you is in the next part. Obviously it's a pretty mirror image of what we've done there, but what I am going to show you next time is I will purposely build up the bottom part of the wall first and do it that way to make sure it seats. And then, if you can see, those are 2x whatever they are, 6s, 8s plates. You can then build the rest of your wall onto the plate and then just mount it to the bricks. That's what I'm going to do. The actual look itself, I think it looks very, very good. I've showed you the claws earlier. I like how the claws look as they go all the way around the set. You know, it's a fence you're not allowed to climb over. The wing figure with the 2 daggers on top, I think that looks very, very good as well. The gate went on okay, as you can see, no problems with the gate, although the gate was on before I actually put the walls on with the fence. Anyway, you know where we are now at the moment. We have cured the problem. and it is on, so I'm quite pleased about that. So all we've got to do now is a mirror image of the other side, and I believe that's the end of bag 2. So with that, anybody who's watched this far, like I say, thanks very, very much for watching. But if you've liked this little video, I hope you have. I hope you understood the things that I've tried to point out to you. So as if you come to build this set, you know what to expect. Then please hit that like button for me. Yeah, you know, that thumbs up. Don't be afraid to drop any comments in the box. Have you built this set? Did you have the same problem? Or is it just me? The plates aren't that bent. That's the thing that worries me here. I wouldn't mind if they was massively bent. There's a little bit of a bend, look. You can just about see. But they're not massively out of kilter. So, like I say, the clutch power of the bricks does not help one little bit. And with that, if you want to follow us tomorrow on to part 11 and the end of bag 2, then please click on that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Yeah, the figure's nice look. I like how his wings look. He's got his hat on, his hood. He's holding his axe. I think it looks, the look of the set at the moment looks fantastic. If we can just get the other side of the wall on perfect, and then we start to build up, the job will be a good one. And as I said earlier, as I started this little bit of the review, thanks very, very much for watching, guys, in this video or any of my others. Always appreciate it. And I do hope that I will see you all tomorrow, and you can see if we can get the other part of the wall on, and the asylum will be, the ground floor then really will be finished. And with that, you know the score, you know the drill. My name's Kev, I am Square Ghost, and I'll see you all on the flip side.